Okay, so you all should have a template in your kits for creating your color wheel. So there should be 12 spaces here. I'm going to show you how to, before you add any color or label, do a tracing paper copy of this template because you will need the same size for your mandala project. So this one you will put this is just a piece of computer paper, so you're going to need to use this to transfer your drawing onto your watercolor paper, which is obviously thicker and bigger. So you're going to need to know how to do a transfer for painting your color wheel and doing your mandala. So you will need your template. You will need a piece of tracing paper, and you are just going to overlay your tracing paper onto your template, and you're going to need a little bit of tape so that this doesn't move. So I'm going to tape. Obviously you can try and do this without taping, but I recommend taping both. Tape the bottom paper and the top paper. My tracing paper is a little wrinkled, so sorry about that. I'm going to actually do both ends so it doesn't flip up. And now I'm just going to take my pencil. If you have a protractor, that would be ideal, but you don't have to. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. I would recommend using a ruler to do the wedges, but what I would do is I'm just going to carefully go around, kind of pressing hard. I'm going to make a pretty dark line. Going around and just tracing with my pencil. Again, I'm pressing pretty hard with my pencil and just getting it as straight, as accurate as possible. Again, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. It's your color wheel. Going around, kind of making a thicker, not super thick line, but just enough to get it to transfer. I'm not using a ruler because I'm just gonna, for those of you who don't have one, it can be done without. Again, I'm pressing hard so that I'll be able to rub off the print. See, I've already been a little bit off there, which is fine. Again, you can certainly use a ruler. I'm going to erase that little part there. You can even use like the edge of a book or whatever you have. Piece of cardboard from the recycle bin. Any kind of straight edge will work. Okay, so I drew this on my tracing paper, and then I'm going to lift it up. Get this tape off. Move this, and then I'm going to get my watercolor paper, and I'm going to flip this over onto my watercolor paper. Now, keep in mind that when you're doing, if you're doing the color wheel, you want this up a little higher on your paper because you're going to need to write primary color, secondary color, etc. underneath. So this will be up on your paper just a little bit more. So see how it's not quite right in the middle? I mean, I guess you could put it in the middle. There's still a little bit of room, but up higher is better. And you are basically just going to, so I would recommend securing this again with some tape. Maybe even here. And I'm going to go over those lines on the back side. So I'm going to do the same thing again. Till I've gone over all my lines once again. gonna do this for all the pencil lines you made for the color wheel. And I just want to show you really quick what happens when it transfers onto the other side. Okay, so you'll go through and you'll trace all 12 lines to trace the color wheel, and then you'll have your completed image printed on the other side. So just remember, you'll trace it from here, take it off, flip it over onto your watercolor paper, and then retrace what you did.